Okay. Yeah, so I'm making a Dr. Doom statue. Want to check it out? All right, this should definitely be interesting. Oh, especially since camera's a bit lopsided. Anyway, so this is the cool new project that I'm working on because helmet's been a bit challenging here and there, and wanted something I could actually focus on a bit more consistently. Plus, I haven't been able to figure out where to work on the electronics at. So this is our current project. My current project, your current project, whatever. This is from Yosh Studios through his Patreon. If I can get this up before the end of September, then it's actually still available as part of his September Patreon list. And it is a life-size, or as close to as possible, should be about 7 foot tall Dr. Doom statue. And I thought this would be a lot of fun. 1, because I love Dr. Doom. 2, because it actually gives me an opportunity to try and work on some editing. Not great editing, but some editing. And also a cat who's desperate to escape to find the bag of food that my mom gifted me. And thirdly, wet sanding, which I've started to do already a little bit with this one. Made it with, so far this is actually just the torso section. And it is, got to work out an easier way of doing this. But this is the torso section. I finished most of these pieces up recently, and the plan currently is to go through and, well, obviously get this assembled, hand paint it, and work through there. I had figured out kind of where some of these pieces go. So we have them a lot like this. This will probably be where I can figure it out for now. My office is not quite prepared for something of this size, so it's going to be a bit of a process. One thing you can see, I'm using a mixture of 2 colors of the Vallejo Game Color acrylic paint, the Game Color actual normal paint, not the Model Air paint, which you use with the airbrush. Especially since this is actually a blend of about 3 or 4 different colors of green, known as, these are the 4 bottles of green that I have in my house, and I wanted it to look this color brand. It's very technical and very special. But the filler primer that I used was the Rust-Oleum Automotive Filler. Usually I get the gray, but since I was painting it silver, I wanted to try out the black. However, for whatever reason, the first can I got, you can kind of see here, still trying to get a bearing on where my camera lens is on this. You can kind of see here, it's put a lot of debris on that I thought I'd clear it off. So probably going to scrap this down again, or at least like sand it until it's clean, reapply with either this one or my gray, and then go from there. But yeah, I will be working and doing updates as I go along with this. I have no idea where I'm going to put him. I have some cool ideas that I want to try out with the head. Now, if this was a bit bigger, it'd be a bit easier, but what I'd like to try and do, aside from learning how to paint the fleshy tones, which will be new for me, and the whites of the eyes, if I could possibly pull it off, and you may or may not be able to see it. Let me try something real quick. Okay, there we go. I would like to try and see if I could drill a little bit into it with like my rotary tool and insert irises. Those are going to be some super tiny emeralds or something. And then just having to patch up, somehow his nose got chipped. But honestly, it's been really cool so far. You can tell that it's hand painted. So I'm going to try and work on smoothing that out so you don't see the hand painted, the hand strokes as much as best as I can. However, I have to admit, the wet sanding approach I've used so far, which is probably not entirely accurate, but still, honestly, this is incredibly smooth. There's some ridging here, some area I need to work on, but it's also where the ring is, so that's probably going to be a mess. But like here, it's just, I mean, even though you see the lines and everything, it doesn't feel like it for most of this. I'll be working on this. And then I've been just still trying to print out batches of these bits here so that it'll just connect right up like this. I have to actually fix one little problem. My printer keeps putting, I think, rims or mouse ears on it. So one end of the connections will go in relatively fine. The other ones, on the other hand, refuse to play unless they get shaved down some. Archimedes, stop it. No, just because there's a canned food in there does not mean you get it. Well, that's some serious stuff right there, isn't it? Me having a conversation, me having an argument with a cat who needs... Anyway, okay. That's where we're standing at right now. Trying to also make this where it's not a super long video because, one, I did it too late. But yeah, we've got... I'm going to start working on these pieces. I'm actually going to try and... because I'm trying to juggle out too much stuff right now and keep the house up and everything. I'm going to try and do... One sec. He sees a can of wet food. He sees a can of wet food. Doesn't matter if there's any wet food in it, but he sees the can. He must have it. And unfortunately, he's tall and intelligent. Of course, that's the cat that adopts me. Anyway, I'm going to work on doing 90-minute, hour to 90-minute live stream of just working on this every Wednesday, starting this Wednesday. So really, another reason I'm keeping this video short is so that I can hopefully have it edited, looking kind of nice, and then uploaded as soon as I can. I've already started to do some work on it, which you can kind of see, obviously, from the piece here. And again, this is actually just me messing around with it, and I made too much, so I was making sure I put it on. It definitely is going to need multiple coats, you can kind of see. I'm going to work on this. It's going to be tricky, but because with my hands, and I'm not entirely sure the detail, things like this portion here... Let's zoom in a bit. But these detail lines here, I'm going to have to put it like one piece. I can only put about one, maybe two pieces on my weird little workbench at a time. And so I'm going to be doing that so I can hand paint these finer detail areas in better with my messed up hands. Otherwise, you end up with something looking a lot worse than... coming around again, then this bit, because my hands shake a good bit. So I'm gonna go through with this and keep working on the wet sanding technique and then the mixing technique, because I've never really mixed paints like this before. What would be really, really cool though is one of the three paints in here is actually Folk Art's glow-in-the-dark paint from when I tried to actually make my nephew a creeper head from Minecraft and randomly paint certain pieces in the glow-in-the-dark paint. I don't know if it worked. I've never been told. But that would definitely be an interesting feat if I ended up somehow managing to make Dr. Doom glow. But yeah, that's where we're starting now. This is made with the King Rune PLA. Were I to actually try and put this outside, I definitely reprint it with a different styling. I mean, a different filament. Probably PET G. I have a few projects that are running with the PET G filament. And zooming. There we go. I've got a few projects that I'm working on doing with the PET G filament when I can get some. But that's also kind of a once the shed gets up and running project. So if I can reclaim the gazebo would be amazing with like putting Doom in there. That would be epic. Okay, but for right now, this is the project that I'm working on, and I'm looking forward to live streaming it. Currently looking at about, let's see, what was it? I think about 3 or 4 I'll try and make sure to schedule it into the computer somehow. I've still got to figure out how to get it to run properly given the way my office is set up, but it'll be in the I think about 4 to 6 every Wednesday Eastern time PM. So hopefully people will be at least interested enough to kind of call me out on something. I don't know. I'm excited because this is just going to be awesome, even though I have no idea where he's going to go right now. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope at least one of you is excited, and I'm glad to be back doing this instead of just talking myself out of it. So, cringy opening, cringy middle, probably a cringy ending. So, if you are even remotely interested, please do the fun bitsy bits of like, comment, subscribe, and I don't know, press the big red button that says do not press me under any circumstances. Or maybe not. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and see you in a few days.